I am Reed, just a normal 27-year-old guy talking about building wealth and getting your life together in your 20s today. We were going to dismantle this whole net worth circus, because frankly, most of you are approaching it like a cat chasing a laser pointer, all frantic motion, zero progress. You see all these people online, flashing their leased luxury cars and their I woke up in a new Bugatti energy, peddling their get-rich-quick schemes. It is nauseating, truly, because the reality, the painfully dull reality, is that building actual wealth, the kind that buys you freedom, not just fleeting Instagram likes, is about as glamorous as watching paint dry, and that, my friends, is why it works. Let us talk about what net worth actually is, because judging by some of the financial gurus out there, you think it is just the balance in your checking account. It is not. It is what you own minus what you owe. Simple as that. Your cash, your investments, your house if you have one, subtract your debts, credit cards, car loans, student loans, mortgage. The number you are left with, that is your net worth. Not your ego, not your potential, not your hopes and dreams. Just the cold, hard financial truth. When I was 25, my net worth was just over $50,000. Now, I am 27, and it is comfortably sitting around $150,000. And before you jump to conclusions, no, I didn't win the lottery. I didn't get some massive inheritance. My parents aren't secretly billionaires. I don't have a six-figure job, never have, and honestly, if you need a six-figure salary to stack money, you are probably doing it wrong, because if you can manage money on a normal income, you certainly manage it on a big income. You just have bigger problems. The truth is, it came from painfully slow, relentlessly consistent stacking of money, from smart habits that are so boring, they make your eyes glaze over, and from a few lessons learned, mostly from watching other people spectacularly fail. My current breakdown, if you are even interested in such mundane details, looks something like this. About $50,000 in a high-yield savings account that is my emergency fund, my Dawn 2 screw myself over fund, and some short-term goals like buying a proper espresso machine. Not some pod garbage. I have around $10,000 in my Roth IRA, which I am slowly but surely maxing out every year because tax-free growth is literally free money and only an idiot would turn down free money. Then there is about $80,000 in my 401k, mindlessly growing in some low-cost index funds because complexity is a status signal for people who want to feel smart but stay poor. I also have about $10,000 in my checking and other savings accounts just for daily liquidity, and yes, I still have a car loan, about $10,000 on my current ride. A perfectly adequate, completely unsexy vehicle that gets me from point A to point B without bleeding money. No credit card debt, because that is just a tax on stupidity. Pure and simple. So, how did I get here, you ask? It wasn't overnight, and it was through some groundbreaking strategy that no one else has discovered. It was through saving money consistently, relentlessly for years. I started taking savings seriously when I was 18, which was, 9 years ago. I was making $18 an hour, which wasn't exactly rolling in dough, but I had the luxury of overtime, so I was bringing home around $800 a week as an 18-year-old, living at home with essentially zero expenses. I could have blown all of it on whatever fleeting nonsense caught my eye, like most 18-year-olds do. But I didn't. I lived on $200 a week max. I saved $600 every single week, automatically transferred to a savings account every week without fail. It was boring, it was repetitive, and it built a massive pile of liquid cash. While all my friends were busy financing new cars and accumulating credit card debt, it wasn't about deprivation. It was about prioritizing freedom over fleeting gratification. I automated everything. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to make a conscious decision to save. The money just left my account. Before I even had a chance to consider spending it, this is key. Your willpower is finite. Your system should be infinite. Build a system that makes saving automatic, that makes wasting money difficult, and you've already won half the battle. And budgets, oh, the mythical budget. Everyone talks about budgeting like it is some magic spell. But most people just adopt some rigid, impractical budget they saw on TikTok and then wonder why it doesn't work. Your budget needs to work for you, not for some influencer. I sat down, looked at my actual expenses, my actual lifestyle, and figured out what I could realistically live on. I don't drink. I don't have expensive hobbies, so I can live on a ridiculously low weekly income and save the rest. You need to be brutally honest with yourself about where your money is actually going, not where you wish it was going. The $50,000 at 25 wasn't a flex. It was a milestone, it meant options, it meant breathing room, a solid foundation to keep growing. Now at 27, with $150,000, it means even more options, more breathing room. It means I am not trapped by a job I hate. It means I can take calculated risks. It means I can weather storms, financial or otherwise. It's not about being rich overnight. It's about building a fortress of financial security. Brick by boring brick. My next goal is $250,000 by 30. It is just a number, a marker, but it keeps the discipline in check. I am also religiously maxing out my Roth IRA every year because, as I said, tax-free growth is a gift and only a fool refuses gifts. I am a little behind this year, but I'll catch up, because financial obligations are like gravity, they never stop pulling. And then there is the car problem. A classic wealth destroyer. Ivy had my share of expensive, built-out cars, a Subaru WRX, a BMW, a Tesla. Each one was a lesson in how quickly you can light money on fire. You spend thousands modifying them, only to watch their value plummet faster than your hopes and dreams. I lost $10,000 on the Subaru, $15,000 on the BMW, and a significant chunk on the Tesla, because I fell for it is an investment lie. It is not. It is a depreciating asset that demands constant feeding. Now, I drive a perfectly capable, supremely unexciting Jeep. The monthly payment is minimal. It gets me where I need to go, and I am investing the money I used to pour into those automotive black holes. Eating your ego is far more financially rewarding than fueling it. Look, you don't need to move fast. You just need to move with purpose, with discipline. You need to save your money, invest your money, start slowly, and just keep going. When I was younger, I was saving 80% of my paycheck. Now, I am still saving a significant portion, around 40%, and investing the rest. It is about finding what works for you consistently. It's about building a financial foundation that over time will grant you true freedom. Not just the illusion of it. I am not trying to get rich overnight. That is a fool's errand. I am just trying to build a foundation so solid that in a few years, if I keep doing the same boring, repetitive, disciplined things, my money will grow itself. That is the real secret, the one no one wants to talk about, because it is not exciting. It is just relentlessly effective. Let us talk about the myth of getting started early versus getting started right. Everyone preaches about starting early, and yes, compound interest is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But starting early with the wrong habits, with an undisciplined approach, is just accelerating your journey to mediocrity. It is better to start right, even if it is later, than to start early and fumble your way through years of poor decisions. I started early, yes, but more importantly, I started right. I embraced the boring, the mundane, the painfully logical. I didn't chase fleeting trends. I didn't try to time the market. I just consistently poured money into broad market index funds and let time and capitalism do their thing. It is like watching grass grow, except the grass eventually turns into a very comfortable financial cushion. Many of you are caught in the trap of complexity. You think you need to be a financial wizard, deciphering intricate stock charts and predicting market movements. You think you need some secret strategy that only the elite know. It is all nonsense designed to sell you courses and books and make you feel inadequate. If you can't explain your investment strategy to a 12-year-old, you are just gambling, not investing. My strategy, and I use that word loosely, is to buy a diversified basket of the world. As greatest companies, hold them forever and ignore the noise. That is it. It is not sexy, it is not exciting, but it consistently works year after year, decade after decade, while the smart money tries to outsmart itself and often ends up with less. The biggest enemy to your wealth isn't inflation. It is not taxes. It is not the government. It is your own behavior. It is your impulse to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't like with money you don't have. It is your fear when the market dips, causing you to sell low, and your greed when the market soars, causing you to buy high. It is your desire for instant gratification, your inability to delay pleasure for long-term gain. You are the biggest hurdle to your own financial success. And until you acknowledge that no amount of financial advice will help you, this isn't about deprivation, it is about intentionality. It is about deciding what truly matters to you and then aligning your spending and saving with those values. For me, it is freedom. It is options. It is the ability to wake up each day and decide how I want to spend my time, not have that decision made for me by a paycheck. So I choose to save, I choose to invest, I choose to live below my means, not because I am cheap, but because I value something more than the temporary thrill of a new gadget or a fancy dinner. Consider the power of just not being stupid. It is an underrated superpower in the financial world. Most people are actively, enthusiastically sabotaging their own finances. They carry high interest debt, they buy things on impulse, they chase shiny objects, they try to get rich quick. If you simply avoid doing those things, you are already ahead of 80% of the population. You don't need to be brilliant, you just need to not be an idiot. It is a low bar, but surprisingly few people clear it. And for those of you who think this is all too boring, too slow, too uninspired, I've got news for you. Financial freedom is a sprint. It is a marathon, a dull, repetitive marathon where the prize at the end is living life on your own terms. Without financial stress, if you crave excitement in your finances, you are probably going to end up poor and stressed. The stock market is not an entertainment venue. It is a wealth-building machine, and it operates best when you leave it alone. So, what is your excuse? You don't make enough money. Most people don't. But most people also waste an absurd amount of what they do make. You have too many expenses. We all do. But what are you willing to cut to achieve your goals? You don't know where to start. Start small. Start with a high-yield savings account. Start automating a small amount of money every paycheck. Then educate yourself. Read some boring books. Listen to some boring podcasts. And incrementally build your knowledge. The journey to wealth is paved with monotony. With discipline, with delayed gratification, it is not about complex algorithms or insider tips. It is about showing up consistently, day after day, year after year, and doing the simple things right. It is about patience, about persistence, about understanding that true wealth is built slowly, deliberately, not in a frantic rush. So if you are 25, if you are 22, if you are 30, wherever you are at, just know you don't need to move fast. You just need to move with purpose, discipline, save your money, invest your money, start slowly, and keep going. I am not trying to get rich overnight. I am just trying to build a financial foundation that in the next couple years, if I keep with these same habits that I've been building slowly, I'll be able to really grow my money. That is the whole point. That is the quiet power of boring, consistent action, and it will set you free. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know where you are at, and yeah, have a good day.